Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with The Nation newspaper. The major story here, NNPCL, Dangote disagree on petrol price. Oil giant, we bought at 898 naira. Firm, it is not true. Price template out today. Right at the top corner there, jailed terrorists among 281 prisoners who bolted in Borno. Conversion of buses to CNG in Ibadan, Kaduna peps up. And Edo 2024 presidency, NSA flay PDP's violence claim. President back in Abuja after China-UK visit. DSS didn't arrest Shure. Those are the major stories on the front page of The Nation newspaper. To the Nigerian News Direct now, NNPC Limited will be sole buyer of Dangote Refinery petrol, federal government insists. As mixed reactions trail lifting of PMS at 898 naira per litre by NNPC Limited. We sold fuel to NNPCL in dollar. That's what Dangote is saying. And 274 inmates still missing in aftermath of Maiduguri flooding. PMS price, Serap sues Tinubu seeks compulsory probe of NNPC Limited. Zamfara boat accident, floods. Tinubu mourns victims, assures bereaved families of support. NDLEA arrests auto parts dealer shipping cocaine to Congo. And Nigerian man on death row in Indonesia freed after NIDCOM intervention. Some stories there on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the leadership newspaper now, NNPCL, Dangote disagree over price of petrol. We bought fuel from Dangote at 898 naira per litre. Official of the NNPCL is quoted as saying, "No, your statement is misleading, mischievous." Dangote responds, 70 trucks load PMS from refinery. And Maulud, Tinubu governors, others felicitate with Muslims. Obasanjo Abdulsalami Guso meet IBB in Mina. And the top corner there, ASU alleges victimization of members. Another story there, how immigration detained me at Lagos airport. Shure giving account of his detention there. Now, hold Simon Ekpa for terrorism, Army tells UN. 281 inmates missing in Borno flood prisons and 4 die of cholera in Adamawa, 36 hospitalized. Those are some of the stories on the front page of the leadership newspaper. Now to the front page of the Daily Independent. Finally, NNPCL truckloads first set of petrol at Dangote Refinery. And the writers there, Dangote denies selling PMS at 898 naira per litre to NNPCL, assures Nigerians of quality product and to fuel scarcity. And at the downstrip here, Naira may rebound on back of federal government's $900 million domestic dollar bond. Flood, Nigeria receives 50 tons of relief materials from the UAE. NEMA warns of imminent flood in rivers in weeks. And the government accuses APC of plan to veil thugs in police uniforms to disrupt Guba poll. Right. Now, another story there. NCOs releases details of 281 inmates missing after Maiduguri floods. Those are some stories on the front page of the Daily Independent. To the First News newspaper now. No relief in sight. NNPCL reveals buying fuel at 898 naira per litre from Dangote. And that's the picture story there of former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo and Ibrahim Babangida sharing a moment of camaraderie during Obasanjo's visit to Minna, Niger State to celebrate Babangida's 83rd birthday. And at the top corner there, federal government begins nationwide distribution of CNG conversion kits. Another story here. Atiku donates 100 million naira to Borno flood victims, rally support for relief efforts. To the front page of the Daily Times now. NNPCL, Dangote trade words over PMS pump price. We bought petrol from Dangote Refinery at 898 naira per litre. That's NNPCL. That's what NNPCL said. NNPCL's claim misleading, mischievous, says Dangote. Federal government hails lifting of petrol from Dangote Refinery, says it's a step towards industrialization, local refining. Nigerian sentenced to death in Indonesia for drug trafficking released. And another story here, Idil Mulud keeps supporting Tinubu. Nduje begs Nigerians, urges Muslims to continue to pray for peace, stability, prosperity in Nigeria. Some stories on the front page of the Daily Times. To the Salient Times now. So talking about Dangote Refinery selling petrol at 898 naira per litre. That's a quote by the NNPC. Kudos to Tinubu for making this a reality, Otedola is quoted as saying. Now, 44% of our PMS production can meet the entire requirement of Nigeria. Atiku visit Borno over flooding, donates 100 million naira. That's the picture story there. And over 40 people reported dead in a boat mishap in Zamfara community. Now, cholera, 4 died, 36 hospitalized in Adamawa. Some stories on the front page of the Salient Times. Now to the Punch newspaper. Petrol price. Dangote NNPC differ as refinery supplies 16 million litres. Marketers await price after Dangote counters NNPC on 898 naira per litre PMS. Dealers allege fuel sale monopoly. Now, Labour Party, Abure sues INEC over caretaker exco. And name-sim linkage, telcos begin disconnection as deadline ends. NCOS contacts Interpol over 281 Borno fleeing inmates. Some stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Kemi.
All right. And from my set, the first paper here is this Nigeria. The lead story is captioned 281 inmates missing from Borno prisons, with the Correctional Service lamenting havoc of flood disaster. And the group is seeking judicious use of 3 billion naira to vulnerable states. Serap sues Tinubu over failure to reverse PMS hike, probe NNPCL. Igodalo Okwebolo absent at Edo-Goba debate as Akpata blasts runaways. Dangote NNPCL squabble over petrol price. This and more on this Nigeria. On the front page of Blueprint, UN team arrives Maiduguri as Nigerian Air Force begins airlift of relief materials for flood victims. Right, another story there. 40 die in Zamfara boat mishap. Tinubu mourns. Auto dealer, businesswoman nabbed over UK-bound opioids, cocaine in custard. Daily Trust is next. 400 million naira budgeted for Alao Dam in 4 years. Governor quoted as saying, the governor, Babagana Zulum, saying, dam neglected for years. Its defects discovered 9 years ago. That's a revelation from a report. And fear of disease grows as Borno decries harmful practices. Survivors said to be washing and cooking with contaminated water. Obasanjo Abdul Salami Gusau meet IBB. That's also there. 400 jobs to go as Scotland's only refinery shuts down in 2025. NNPC lifts 70 trucks of petrol in fresh dispute with Dangote. And hotel owner, manager, guest, 2 vigilantes shot dead by kidnappers. Platform Times says there's a picture story of former President Olusegun Obasanjo with former military president IBB, while his children cuddled former President Obasanjo at the Mina residence of IBB. Because there was a closed-door meeting that's also captured in Platform Times. Lagos parents protest as school fees jump from 35,000 to 100,000 naira. Don't mislead Nigerians. Dangote denies selling fuel to NNPCL at 898 naira per litre. Edo government begged international community to prevail on Tinubu to allow free, fair election. And more than 200 lecturers unjustly sacked, victimized, ASU tells university management. Abuja Inquirer is next. The big story reads, FCT lawmakers perform poorly at National Assembly, with Senator Ireti Kingigbe said to have sponsored one bill so far. Two representatives are said to have sponsored no bill at all. Details are there on the Inquirer. FCT Emergency Management Agency conducts post-assessment of affected areas. Wike makes excuses for Abuja landlords on high costs of rent. Next is New Telegraph. Forex scarcity forces operators to cannibalize. All right. Next is the New Telegraph, which reads thus: Forex scarcity forces operators to cannibalize disused airplanes as carriers face existential threat. And why 60% aircraft on offshore maintenance cannot return. Operators deplore spare price gorging scarcity, as well as some lamentations there by travelers. In the U.S., Trump's golf course incident appears to be assassination attempt, and Ribadu sues PDP chairman Aziegbem, demands 10 billion naira. That's ahead of the governorship election due in Edo this weekend. Nature News reads, trailing Namibia's footsteps, Zimbabwe to call 100 elephants amid droughts. That's what it calls a selective slaughtering of these elephants, I should say, amid droughts and food shortage, with the plan is said to be violating international conventions, CSOs speak. Group organizes art workshop on environmental degradation in Niger Delta. All right, let's check out some other stories now. Finally, with me is Sporting Life. Atalanta 3-2 Fiorentina. Lookman grabs first goal of season, wins an award, happy to play before home fans and pleased to be in UCL. Chelsea could sign Osimhen in January. Onyeka makes winning debut, registers assist, and Ndidi disappointed with draw. Veronica.
Interesting. I believe that our viewers have been updated, but the story is dominating the papers this morning is that of the NNPCL finally lifting the product, as the PMS from Dangote Refinery. She had to stress the finally.
But not without controversies.
You see, I'm just wondering why this controversy have to always trail the matter between the NNPCL and the Dangote Refinery. It's not looking good at all. Now we see on one of the papers where marketers are saying this is monopoly as it is, because that was also the subject that came up as issues were stirred up before we could now pick up the product from Dangote Refinery. There were concerns about monopoly. There were several concerns, and then we are beginning to see them come to play now. Who will resolve these very knotty issues that we are seeing with regards to the matter of PMS in Nigeria? What an average Nigerian needs is that I drive into a filling station, I get access to fuel at a very affordable price as it is. But this whole back and forth, NNPCL is saying we bought it at 898 naira per litre, and then Dangote coming out to say that's not true. And then the marketers are saying, monopoly is what we are seeing. What about us? You know, the controversy is one that Nigerians just want to fizzle away as quickly as possible. All they want is fuel readily available. And I think one of the striking issues for me is the fact that, you know, with this kind of, the level of distrust between NNPCL and Dangote, because you said it all, there's been no back and forth all before now. So how are they going to make progress? How are they going to work together? And how will Nigeria be better served? Because you can imagine if NNPC says, I got the fuel at 898, so how much will they sell
to us? How much are we going to buy Dangote oil?
Let's not push it too much. Let's not push it too much. Let's wait and see what happens at the end of the day. That the average Nigerian is at the center of their decisions with regards to pricing. Anyway, we need to quickly move now. The Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered